I'm in the shed running the still over there doing a stripping run, and well, there's no nice way to put this, but I just screwed up. How's it going, chasers? I hope you're having a kick-ass week. I'm Jesse, and this is Still It, the channel all about chasing the craft of home distillation and making it a legitimate hobby. If you want a legitimate hobby and you want to be taken seriously in that hobby, you have to be willing to admit, you know, when there's a potential risk, potential danger, and you have to actively go about mitigating that risk. I feel like it's your responsibility to do so, right? It's no secret that there are dangers and risks involved in home distilling. Now, the problem is that the general population stereotype the hobby heavily, and they grossly over-exaggerate the risks involved in it. And that stereotype and those exaggerations can be used against the hobby, you know, on a regular basis. I think personally that we should all be working towards, you know, getting rid of those stereotypes, proving people wrong. Anyway, we've been sidetracked. I'm out in the shed right now, and the still's running over in the background there. You can probably hear a little background noise coming through, you know, the dripping and the whirring of the fans and all that sort of stuff. But I'm a little bit behind at the moment. I'm a little bit behind schedule, and I was a little bit stressed about how I'm going to get the videos out over the next 2 days because of, you know, things, just the knock-on effect of getting behind. So I set the still up. I got it all ready to strip. I got the elements running, got the water turned on, got the still set up. A little voice in the back of my head told me to just walk away. It'll be fine. Let that still do its thing. It's just a stripping run. You can go and record a video doing something. I need to do something in another room. You know, you'll save a whole lot of time. If you're in this hobby, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. There's just so much time involved, you know, with getting things set up and then warming up and then starting the run and then the run itself and then cleaning up afterwards. It's a time sink, you know, which is awesome. It's part of why I love the hobby. But when you're on a schedule, it's tricky. So I almost left, but I decided to be good. So the way I messed up today is the top gasket at the top of the still wasn't seated properly. I guess the weight of the still had kinked it as I'd tightened it up. Just enough to break the seal, but not enough for there to be a visual, you know, a visual problem with the still. It was just pissing out alcohol. There's 4 kilowatts of power going in the bottom, so it was coming out all over the place, and it was condensing and running down all over the place. I caught it and I saw it really quickly. Within 2 minutes of it happening, I realized there was a problem. I cited the problem. I killed the elements. You know, I wish I got video for you of what was going wrong, but it seems silly to let, you know, you get the idea. Fix the problem first, then shoot the video. But if I wasn't there, if I wasn't watching the still, if I wasn't actively, you know, hands-on with it, I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known for hours, and there would have been booze all over the place. And this is a pretty high wash, so it's, you know, it's probably 50-60% for the first half of the run. That's not a good thing. Now, obviously, guys, the risk of fire for my setup, because it's all electric, is pretty low. There's no naked flame. Obviously, I'm using an electric setup. That's part of the reason I'm using it, is it reduces the risks considerably. You know, but I don't know. I mean, I imagine perhaps you could get super unlucky and it drips somewhere that it shouldn't and shorts something out and creates a spark, and I don't know. It's not something you want to mess with anyway. Why take that risk if you don't need to? The biggest problem, honestly, for me, is that I probably could have ran that still for 2 or 3 hours and lost everything. You know, it would have all just pissed itself out. And I would have lost a whole lot of booze. Neither of those things I want to happen. Anyway, guys, the moral of the story is that familiarity breeds contempt. I guess to go a little further in this situation, what I'm saying is that familiarity, you run the still all the time, you get used to it, it works 15 times perfectly in a row, and that 16th time you get careless and you get lazy, you know, because it's just always worked. That's where you can get yourself into trouble. Anyway, guys, so I just wanted to put this out really quickly to say, make sure you're checking your equipment, make sure you're doing the safety checks as you're heating up, make sure you're checking it for vapor and liquid leaks, especially, guys, especially if you have a naked flame. Dear God, check your still if you have a naked flame. If anyone else has got some stories out there on things that have gone wrong for you and you want to share them down below to try and, you know, remind people of why they need to be careful, have at it. If you have stories, funny stories of things going wrong, let us know about those too. Bonus points to anyone who has ruined something of their significant others, their girlfriends, their boyfriends, their wives, their husbands, whatever it happens to be. If you screwed something of theirs up because of distilling, tell me about it. I want to know. Anyway, I'm out of here. I can see the still from here, but now I want to go and check it a little closer. Keep on chasing the craft. I'll catch you next time. See ya.